deserve that. Oh, man, we got 2 minutes to our guest. Did he send over a bio or anything?
Yes, he
Who
did.
is he? Is anybody? No, I'm playing, man. Because I've been a fan of this gentleman for a long time. I have been. And today we're going to learn about him in a different way than I've always known him. Because today you're not only going to meet a great guy, but you're going to hear his heart today. You're going to hear his heart today and mission today. But again, Lena Janelle, we are so proud of you. Sheila Gothard says,
I hadn't received my book when I checked the track and I realized I had not changed the settings.
oh.
And my son-in-law and daughter-in-law loved it. I had to order it again.
Now, which book are you talking about? Are you talking about my latest book, Mastering, or are you talking about a different book?
We'll see. Amen.
Which book are you talking about, Sheila? And Sheila also says, Lena, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Robin C. Stern says, go, Lena.
Go, Lena. Go.
And Lena Janelle says, y'all got us hyped for the guests. You should be hyped. You should be hyped for the guest, okay? Because he deserves it.
Now, our guest, Sakoni Prince, is a highly sought after international motivational speaker, award-winning author, and personal development strategist that helps people take an objective look at themselves. He is the CEO of SakoniPrince.com, where their slogan is making motivation personal by introducing you to yourself.
Coming to the stage. He's my friend. He's my friend and soon to be yours. I love the guy very much because he's a consistent, great guy. Coming to the stage, Mr. Sakoni Prince.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
How are you, my brother?
I am well. I've been enjoying just the love that you two share with each other is phenomenal. So yeah, I'm excited to be here today.
Well, Lisa's my baby, but after all of that said, I want you to take a moment first. Please introduce yourself however you would like.
Okay, well, I like to tell everybody my name is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. I'm a motivational speaker, I'm an author, and I'm a coach. I also have a conference, and my latest book I turned into a podcast, which has been phenomenal. It's called Heal. And HEAL, as you can see right here, is an acronym for Help, Elevate, and Learn. And it's a guide for healing your inner child. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Absolutely.
Help elevate and learn.
Yes.
A guide to healing your inner child.
Exactly.
I know all those things you said about yourself to be true, but I also know you as a connector. And I also know you as a supporter because y'all not going to believe this, but I have been on Sakoni's podcast twice as a guest. He has interviewed me twice, and every time he's interviewed me, he's done it in such excellence, and he's done it in such a good way that it helped my business every time. Every time I was on your podcast, I got business from it, okay? Because someone saw it, you know. Plus, everybody knows Sakoni, okay? And he knows everybody.
Well, I tell people all the time, the easiest way to remember my name is to write it on a check.
There you go. And plus, it's a cool name, Sakoni. Okay. So I want to talk about where we're going today, your latest book and your project. Why did you decide to pick up that mantle?
Well, I decided to write this book really after I spoke at a Focus Women's Conference about 3 years ago. And at the conference, I talked about wearing the right mindset. And I shared a whole bunch of information, but at the end of the conference, I had them do an exercise. And I'm in a room full of women. I mean, there were at least 100. But in fact, what I had them do is I had them, the first of all, I said, okay, secure your valuables, because everybody ain't saved. Okay, make sure your phone and your purse are close to you. But I wanted them to close their eyes and place their hand over their heart. And I wanted them to speak to the little girl within them. I wanted them to thank that little girl for the strength she had to go through whatever it is she went through for them to become an adult. But then I told them that little girl was proud of the woman that they become. And man, after the event was over, you would not believe how many women of different ages and stages of life came up to me and thanked me, not just for the other stuff I shared, but for that particular exercise.
Absolutely.
Because they had forgotten about the fact that all of us, we still have that inner child. And so that really started me on a journey of in fact, discovering about that aspect of our personality. In fact, like I said before, my slogan is we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. But one thing I left out was the inner child, because a lot of people have current day behavior that's based on something that was seeded or planted in their childhood. And the problem is they don't see the connection. And so that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, but also I'm doing a podcast.
See, it's very important to you. Where are you now? What part of the country?
I'm in Mobile, Alabama. I'm a big deal in Mobile. At least that's what the gram says.
Are you from there?
I am. I was born and raised here. I spent about 4 years in Atlanta. But
yes, I heard. I thought I heard Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
But I wanted to confirm it to the audience.
I love it. I hear it. Absolutely.
You're already getting some. First off, good morning, Dr. Deborah. But Lena Janelle says,
I love that story about the inner child. Love it, Saccone. Saccone is with a C, if you're going to put it on the check.
Yeah, it's with a C. That's right. And it's on the screen right now. Easiest way to remember his name is to write it on the check. But I can see why they would thank you. With their hand over their heart, talking to that little girl, proud of her for being strong enough to get her to become the woman that she is today, and talking to that woman today for the little girl being proud of what you have developed into. And I'm of the opinion, Saccone, that's why the exercise is so powerful, that adults forget how great they are. They forget how awesome they are a lot. You know, right. They get it maybe beaten out of them. What say you to that?
Well, I can honestly say that we have to take a step back. And that's one of the things that I talk about in my book. And do an actual inner child checkup.
Hold it up again, please.
I'm sorry. It's right here. It's right here.
I want everybody to make sure you get it.
It's on the screen behind them.
Thank you.
And so it's called doing an actual inner child checkup, because honestly, a lot of people don't even consider that aspect of the personality. I'm not a child anymore. I'm done with that. I'm a full-blown adult. Yeah, you are, but one of my therapists that have been on the show, because I've had nothing but therapists on the show, because I wanted them to help me frame up, in fact, what I put in the book. One of them said, if it's hysterical, it's historical. And not the hysterical, but if someone overreacts to something, that means that they were triggered by something that happened in their past. And so we have to be able to do that level of inner child checkup to see, is my inner child okay? Are they happy? Are they silent? In fact, do they feel like they've been locked away in a prison? Do they have a voice? And there are so many things that can be done. My podcast, like I said, I'm not here to end the conversation. I'm here to start the conversation about inner child healing and inner child trauma.
Okay. Susan Kennedy said, she goes, welcome, Saccone. You have a lot to teach me. I'm going to start listening to your podcast. Okay. That's Susan Kennedy. And she said, if you also search for Saccone Prince on Amazon, it comes up easily.
Thank you, Susan. We appreciate you for all of your help. Dr. Beverly goes on to say, she's shouting out the tea collection where life begins with a tea. Oils, candles, body butter, potions that heal. Your lips will crave moisture with her lip gloss and lip scrubs to better your kisses. She turns water into a soothing technique with bath soaks. When you're ready for the experience, give her a call. We appreciate that.
Still Shout It Out Friday. We are going to end the show early today, but Saccone is very likely already, you haven't been talking but a few minutes, but it's very likely already someone's wanting to connect. I like that guy. I think he has something to share with me. How do you prefer people connect with you that want to connect with you?
Well, I am on all social media platforms, I think, except X. But in fact, they can just do at Saccone Prince or at Saccone Prince. I'm Saccone Prince on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even TikTok. So yeah, at Saccone Prince. But the easiest way to find out more about the book is to go to saconiprince.com/heal. You can actually click on the link there and it'll take you to Amazon to where you can buy the book. But you can also listen to previous podcasts, which I've done since March. And I'm telling you, they have been amazing, to say the least.
I believe you. Good morning, Mark Greer. How you doing, sir?
Thank you guys for joining. So I'm telling you, I am really, this is right in my wheelhouse, this particular area of conversation, because it is so important not only to heal from your inner child, to also understand and learn how you navigated through some of those circumstances, because now there may be someone that's dealing with the same trauma that you experienced and overcame, and you could potentially help them with it.
Yes, that is so, so true.
Healing. I think that's amazing, because some people have been through some things as a child, particularly women. And I'm so happy that you were at the women's conference 3 years ago to help them with that. They've been through some things sometimes so unspeakably difficult that they made it through, but they still wear it as adults, and even hard for their adult spouse to hear it.
Absolutely.
I think I need some healing from some of the stuff, not only that I've been through, but some of the stuff that I know my wife has been through.
Right. You know, it is important to have a level of support during that process. But you know what I've also learned too is that no one can do it for you. I don't care how much you care about your wife.
Wow.
You can't heal for her.
Mm-hmm.
She has to be a willing participant in her own rescue.
Absolutely.
You can help her, you can encourage her, you can be there for her, you can support her, you can cheer her on, but she has to take up the mantle of her own healing as well as you. And so I've learned that, believe me, firsthand.
Absolutely. But I think what Brian was indicating, because I have been on a journey, and I am on a journey, continuous journey, a lifelong journey of making sure that I heal and celebrate all the things that God allowed me to overcome. But oftentimes my husband is triggered by my experiences.
Because I wish I was there to protect her, you know, and I can't. So I don't deal with it well. She knows it. I can't take much of it. So that's an area for me, you know, not her.
Right. Again, we have to own our own healing. We have to own it, because without it, we will always be triggered. We will always find ourselves in positions and in circumstances and situations that will cause us to show up at less than our best. And so we have a duty and a responsibility. And I will be the first to say, if you're just doing it for your spouse, you're missing it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Do it for you. Because honestly, if your spouse truly cares about you, they want you to heal for you.
Absolutely.
And then it'll be a benefit, in fact, to them. But if they're only doing it just to appease the other person, you know, like I've said before, what happens if they leave, or if they die, or if they're no longer here? If you're only doing it for somebody else when they're gone,
you have no reason for it no more. It's gone.
Yeah,
exactly. But do it for yourself, because no matter where you go, you're there.
And you are.
If you don't heal, you take that hurt from one relationship to the next, from one job to the next, from one business to the next. That's why personal development to me is so important, because we have to make sure that we are showing up as the best version of ourselves, not just professionally, but personally too.
Absolutely. Now I want to interject here. It with regards to healing and healing your inner child, is this a journey that you believe that people can take on their own?
No, that is okay. First of all, they have to identify the need for it, and they can start the process. But I think that we can only go so far to where we have to, again, okay, I've gone as far as I can on my own, but I'm still having issues. Now, some people's childhood wasn't that traumatic and didn't have that many hangups or issues, and so they may be able to actually heal on their own. Others may have had more traumatic instances or things that happened to them, and they need someone to help hold their hand while they walk through the process. Again, you can't drag somebody through a healing process. You can walk with them, you can hold their hand, but they have to be the one that wants to heal. Because if they don't, both of you are wasting your time.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna definitely want to connect you with a good friend of ours. She's on her feed now, I believe. Her name is Dr. Deborah Dunstan, and she's a trauma healing and manifestation coach as well.
And Dr. Deborah says in her practice, she actually uses a technique called healing inner childhood wounds. Absolutely, absolutely. Lena Janelle says, interesting point about the overreaction trigger from childhood heal. Sounds like a great book and podcast. That one point explains a lot. Absolutely. If it's hysterical, it's historical.
Isn't that something? And he wasn't talking about how hysterical. He's talking about that reaction. If it was there's something historical about that. That will help someone, I believe, be more patient with other people. You know, I think it was a conference that Dr. Deborah put on that Lisa and I was attending up in DMV, and this woman told horrible story about the way she was treated as a child, how she was abused, and she told it such graphic detail about the sexual abuse she underwent as a child. And it was just, I was horrified listening to this story, but she tied it together so beautifully. She says, sometimes when you see people acting out and tripping out and all those kinds of things, instead of asking or wondering what's wrong with them, consider what happened to them.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I'm actually reading a book by Oprah Winfrey, in fact, with the same title, What Happened to You? Yeah. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Dr. Deborah says, how can I get the book? Well, once again, it is at SacconiPrince.com. SacconiPrince.com/heal will take you directly to the Amazon link, as well as some additional podcasts that you can go ahead and catch up on all things Sacconi Prince.
Yeah, I know the punchline to the joke, Robin. So I'm gonna say it in a minute, Robin. Don't reveal it. I'll tell the punchline. Sacconi, we got a couple of minutes left with you. The time flew by so fast, but I want to give these minutes to you because I want you to speak to our audience. Our audience is mature. They're entrepreneurial. They're loving. They're supportive. They're encouraging. It's a great regular feed of audience. And I want you to take a minute or two to teach something, share something, give them something from Sacconi that they can take with them.
Okay, well, I want to say thank you again for having me on your show. And what I would share with your audience is this, that we all have something to offer. We all have something to share. There's so much that's in us that we can actually use to pour into those people that are around us, those people who we've been called to serve. But if we have any kind of hesitation, anything that's holding us back and keeping us from doing that, we need to find out why. We need to look at the root and the cause of it, and we need to work on that. Being an entrepreneur, I know is a challenge. Serving other people can be a milestone, but in the end, it's worth it because there's something deep down in us that has called us to serve. And because of that, we have a need to show up in such a way that we can make a difference in the lives of the people that we've been called to serve. So with that being said, I want to encourage you to see how you can heal yourself so you can help somebody else to actually show up and be the person that they've been called to be. My goal is to make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself so you truly understand who you are and what it is you have. But that also includes healing your inner child.
Hey,
Sacconi, I knew you'd be amazing. I've been a big fan of yours for years. I'm happy to introduce you to our loving audience. If you haven't met Sacconi, connect with him. He makes it very, very easy to find. Do get the book. We appreciate you, Sacconi. We're gonna in about 8 minutes, we're gonna end this broadcast. Can you hang out in the green room or do you have to run?
I can hang out.
All right. Thank you very much, Sacconi.
Thank you.
That was amazing, and I knew that it would be.